I'm Judy Shaw for NYSE Floor Talk. Joining me today is Sebastian Kanovich. He is the CEO of dLocal. Sebastian, it's great to see you. Thanks for joining me.
Hi, Judy. Thanks for having me. Nice meeting you.
Of course. What a pleasure. Now, a quick note to our viewers. This interview is for informational purposes only. The NYSE doesn't recommend any investments or investment strategies. Now, Sebastian, tell me about dLocal. What does dLocal do?
Sure. So we enable global merchants to transact with billions of emerging markets users. So fundamentally, we help companies like Amazon, Facebook, Google, Spotify to reach users who are sitting in emerging markets, users who are sitting in Nigeria, in Mexico, in Brazil, by offering them local payment methods and making sure that those users can transact the way they would like to.
So now some industry analysts refer to you as the Adyen of the emerging market. How do you feel about that statement?
Look, that's definitely flattering, and it's a company we definitely respect a lot. We focus purely in doing business in what we call emerging markets, which essentially means LATAM, Africa, and Southeast Asia, and India. And fundamentally, we help global companies the same way that Adyen does to transact in these markets. So companies like Google, like Amazon, like Spotify, like Netflix rely on our services, and they trust us. They trust our service, our platform, to make sure that they are reaching these users everywhere. Keep in mind, emerging markets are becoming more and more relevant for the strategies of these global companies. So before they would think of US and Europe as everything that mattered, today a lot of the growth is coming from LATAM and from Africa. And for you to be really relevant in those markets, you need to make sure you are locally, you're offering the right mix of payment methods. And that's very challenging, and that's what we've been focused on. So making sure we gain their trust has been our core.
Now, many of the large global e-commerce players are looking to grow in the emerging markets, and they have partnered with you. Why do you think that is?
First of all, we are very proud of that, definitely. And I think we managed to build a platform that it's a great piece of technology where merchants really find the solution that they're looking for. At the end of the day, we process payments, so security and compliance, it's key. But at the same time, you need to be innovative and be able to adapt fast. To give you a sense, there's new payment methods coming up everywhere. There's Pix in Brazil, there's UPI in India. And those payment methods are becoming more and more relevant. And for merchants, for global merchants, it's just impossible to keep up with everything everywhere. So they've managed to leverage our technology and our expertise. And if anything, we are the most proud of is the fact that those merchants start with us in one geography, and on average, they use us across 7, 8, 9 markets. And that's generally where we believe we add the more value. We allow them to do pay-ins, we allow them to do payouts, so users paying from a company paying users, tax collection, marketplaces, and that's where generally the added value comes to happen.
Now, what is it like for merchants to mitigate fraud in the emerging markets?
Look, it's never easy, and it wasn't easy for us starting. And happily, fraud is still a challenge in emerging markets. But we've got the experience of 6 years working here and making sure we got our own models. We wanted to buy a solution out there back in the day, and we just couldn't find it, so we built it ourselves. So yes, fraud prevention is important. There are chargebacks. There's the importance of understanding the user behavior, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you accept those users. You don't want to leave half of the world outside. So it's never easy to tell who's whom, but that's part of our expertise, and that's what we've been investing on all these years.
Now, finally, Sebastian, last year you achieved unicorn status with the latest investment of $200 million, which was led by General Atlantic. Tell me, what's next for dLocal?
Look, there's plenty coming in 2021. The first thing we are definitely adding its new geographies. We've already launched 8 geographies last year. We're going to be adding 13 new geographies in 2021. Keep in mind, it's all emerging markets. So every time we open a new market, we are enabling a whole new set of opportunities from an end user and from a merchant perspective. That's definitely coming up soon. We are launching new products on the fraud prevention side. We are doubling down there. We are going on the issuing side, where we see March space. So essentially, we're going to continue to double down, making sure we enable our global merchants to reach these users on the most efficient way possible.
Well, Sebastian, it's been great to talk with you. Thanks for joining me on NYSE Floor Talk.
Thanks very much, Judy. Thanks for having me.